So I want to introduce you to this next gentleman. He is Barnum. He served as the CEO of HOA.com, connecting homeowners to professionals they can trust. Barnum also serves as the chairman of the Champions Institute, helping dental practices optimize their profitability. He is the #1 best-selling author of the book, Raving Referrals, and he's a highly sought-after expert in referrals, strategic partnerships, and business growth, having previously built a referral network of 5 million business professionals. And let me tell you why I'm so impressed with him. So I met him for the first time today, and we had chatted, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago over Zoom, and then we just reconnected over Zoom again 3 days ago? Saturday, right? And so I was just sitting there going, oh yeah, let's collaborate. When can we collaborate? I said, why don't you just come and speak at my event? And when is that? Like next week. And I'm so impressed that he showed up today. He rushed all the way over here from Arizona. I think he lost some hair. And I can tell that he's a very dedicated professional. He was introduced to me by my good friend Emmy, some of the speakers met her yesterday. We are growing a whole system to optimize profit and efficiency across all business verticals. So please help me welcome to the stage, Brandon.
You can stay here. Emmy, will you come join us too? Yes. So
we're taking a selfie. Yes.
We need a selfie for sure, but number one, Vanessa was amazing. Wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
Thank you. And so what we're going to do is at the Champions Institute, we're passionate about helping you become champion dentists and really feel like a champion. And that's part of what Vanessa was doing right there, is helping you experience that. So will you help us? Because what we want to do is have everybody take a moment and feel like a champion. So whether you're a World Cup fan, we're going to stand up in just a few seconds. I'm going to give you the instructions. We're going to stand up, and then we're all going to be champions together, okay? So I want you to think, how many of you have won a championship at some point in your life? Show of hands. Okay, about half the room. That's awesome. Okay, so you guys know what it's like to be standing on that stage, to be holding that medal, that trophy, that chalice, and feel that championship moment.
You mean a real trophy?
A real trophy, okay. Yeah, absolutely, whatever that is. Now, earlier today, I was texting with a CFO for dental practices, and this guy manages finances for 800 different dental practices, and I said, okay, what's the average sale? When these practices sell, on average, what do they sell for? Any guesses?
It's going to be 500.
Interactive. Okay. Hi. If this was, what was that? Not Wheel of Fortune. What? Price is Right. If this is Price is Right, what else? What other guesses do we have? Higher. Higher. Okay. So what do you say? 750. Any other? I got 500 here. I got 750 here. Can I get anybody else over? 1,000. Okay. 1 million. 1 million. Right. So he said on average, practices sell for about 1.5 million to about 2 million, okay, depending on where they're at in their profitability, which we're going to talk about in a second. I want you, if you own your practice, or there was a lot of entrepreneurs as well, I want you to think about what would that feel like if you sold your business for $10 million, okay? I want you to get up on your feet. However you need to envision that. We're going to experience that championship moment right now, okay? And you two ladies are going to help. So do it right now. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Woo! Come on. We're going to give away prizes. Okay, so you're watching who's got the best experience. Okay. Thank you. You can be seated. You get to go give the prize of the book. Thank you so much for playing. And I have to share with you, on 11/11 of 2021, I released this book, Raving Referrals. And there's only one dentist that's featured in the experts and influencers section of about 100 different experts and influencers, and it's Miss Emily Letran. So it's such a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much for having us. So you get to go, you're going to leave that stack. We're going to have lots of prizes. We're going to give away a bunch of stuff. over the next half hour. So whoever you saw, Emmy, that gave the biggest victory celebration, that's who you get to give the book for. So who's our first winner today? Just one. Yeah! Just hold on, Emmy. Hold on. You're not giving them all away yet. We're gonna give away all 10, but in a few minutes, okay? So just one at a time. Yeah, we're gonna have 8 more winners over the next few minutes. So thank you for playing. Thank you for playing full out. We're going to talk about profit optimization, and before we do that, as I was coming down to Dallas, I flew in this morning, as Emily said. I took the 6 a.m. flight to be here with y'all, and I was thinking, all right. Who is that? Matthew McConnell. Hey, we got any Longhorn fans in the house? Couple, it's this, right? How about any Aggie fans? Aggie fans? Okay. Oh, I know there's this tension. My daughter's at Texas A&M. She's on a full ride. She's studying to be a neurosurgeon. So I gotta say, gig 'em, right? But I also respect the Horns as well. But when it comes to your practice and really optimizing your profitability, there's some serious factors that comes into it. And quite frankly, guys, I'm a CEO. That's really what I do. I'm building tech, as Emily said. I'm the CEO of HOA.com, in addition to the chairman of the Champions Institute. So I really have 2 different companies that we're building full-time. Emmy Savader, who you just met, is my business partner with the Champions Institute, and we're committed to helping people become champion dentists. Emmy's been in this space for a long time. In fact, she was a registered nurse for 30 years, and she worked so that her husband could go through dental school. So she worked as a nurse back in Philly, so her husband could go to Temple University and get his dental degree. He's now a successful orthodontist. They have 4 different practices, earning millions of dollars a year. And quite frankly, it was in large part because she did the work and she took action so her family could win, right? So since that time, Emmy has helped hundreds of dental practices really generate profitability, and we're going to talk about some of the things that we teach here at the Champions Institute. And when it comes to profit optimization, there's 3 main components that you really need to be thinking about in your business. Number 1 is scheduling. We're going to go through this in depth, quite frankly. Number 2 is the culture of your organization, the people, the processes, the teamwork. We heard a lot about that earlier today, and we're going to touch on some of those things. And then number 3 is that new patient acquisition or attraction, right? How do you bring more people into your business? That's the raving referrals part of this whole thing. But I want to share some statistics with you because we've done a ton of research. We are a data-driven organization. I'm a tech guy. HOA.com is the 9th online platform that I'm building. You heard the last one, we built that to 5 million members in 200 different countries. In fact, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they were talking about Antarctica, and I'm like, crazy enough, we used to have members in Antarctica. Like, who is in Antarctica trying to build their referral business? It's cool though, right? So when it comes to you all that are dental owners, there's some really interesting statistics, which number 1, in 2021, the average gross profit for your practice was $224,000. Now, that's a pretty nice lifestyle, right? Most of you would get along pretty comfortably with almost $250,000 a year, right? Now, we always want to optimize that profit, but that's a great start. Beyond that, it cost on average $431,000. That's the kind of payroll that you all are managing if you own your practice, right? So this is a major responsibility. And most dentists that we work with did not go to business school, right? They went to school to be a doctor. They studied medicine, not marketing. They don't understand HR and payroll, and some of you have had to learn that, right? But they didn't teach you that in dental school, did they? You've had to learn that in the real world, and the reality is you're fantastic when it comes to caring for your patients, but when it comes to caring for your practice, we work with a lot of dentists that's an area of growth for them. And so I love the quote from Les Brown. Any Les Brown fans in the house? Les Brown has a great quote. He says, "You can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. And I don't know about you, but I often need an outside coach or consultant to help me see the things that I can't see when I'm inside the frame. And I know there's some amazing coaches and consultants in the room. So whoever you're attracted to, whoever you resonate with that you want to go work with, find somebody that knows what success looks like and that can help you see what that frame really looks like, okay? So it's a major responsibility. You're talking about a significant P&L, profit and loss statement, right? Here's another thing. Specialist dentists, it's even more expensive to run that practice. On average, $514,000 if you've got a specialty practice, okay? So it's a significant investment. Solo owner dentists earn 30% less. So if you're out there on your own, on average, practices that have more help are making more money. It makes sense, doesn't it? Absolutely. You've got more capacity, more room to serve. And then 73% of U.S. dentists own their own private practice. And that's the beauty of this business, is that you got in the business to care for patients. And when you treat this like the golden egg that it really is, right, it takes care of your family for years to come. So that's just some statistics. Now, here is a fun fact. What do you think the number one car for dentists is? Let's hear it. What do you think the number one most popular car for dentists is? We're giving out prizes. I heard Tesla. Who said Tesla? Okay, Tesla. Give her a book, Emmy. She gets a book. Oh, there's prizes. How do you video and give books at the same time? I told Emmy, I said, you're going to be like Vanna White today. You got help. Okay, perfect. You're right. It's a Tesla. I was talking to my co-author. We're doing the second book is Raving Referrals for Dentists. That comes out in February. We're launching that at the Nobel BioCare Symposium in Las Vegas in February. I was talking to the co-author yesterday. She said, I was down at this implant practice, and when I pulled into the parking lot, it was a sea of Teslas. Like every single dentist there in San Diego had a Tesla. So how many of y'all have Teslas? Can we just see a show of hands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So pretty popular car. You love your Teslas, right? Most people do. That's kind of fun. Now, one of the other things that we did in doing the research about what are dentists really out for, we looked at, and we're going to do this Family Feud style. What are some of the things that you guys are looking for? Number 5 was networking with dental specialists to generate more referrals. What other things are your goals for your dental practice? What's important to you guys? Marketing, okay. Give that man a book, Emmy. I know we're going to keep you active. Oh, you're going to help. Thank you. So if we're going to save that one. That's actually the number one answer, right? Attracting new patients to your practice. So you got it right away. What else? Anybody else? Keeping the practice updated, right? With the newest equipment, materials, like staying ahead of the competition, really understanding what it is that success looks like. Building a team that's motivated and dedicated. Again, for those of you that are doctors, that are scientists, this whole thing about people might be a little foreign to you, right? Personality science and actually understand how to motivate people and keep them inspired, that might not be your most natural gift as a physician, right? As a dentist. And then having a pleasant staff and a caring office environment so that when people walk into your practice, they feel the love. Because that's what you want, right? You've got to get the right people in the right roles to make sure that they feel it. And you've got to engineer your practice and your culture. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But practice productivity and growing profitability, number 1, right? And when you said marketing, that's really how I interpret that. How do I attract more patients to my business and grow the profitability of the practice? Now, what keeps you up at night? Not having enough patients. Okay, good answer. We're getting you a book. Here's our next one. That's right. I should have done this in the other order because, again, if this were Family Feud, this would be number 1. Ding, 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 ding. You're absolutely right. Not having enough patients. How do we get more patients, right? What are the other things that keep you up at night? Rising overhead, yeah, absolutely. This is number 5, achieving reliable, sustainable revenue growth. That's the gross, and what you're talking about is the costs, right? It's gotten a little more expensive ever since 2020, hasn't it? This last 12 months especially. I heard somebody say earlier that inflation's about 20%. Now, that's not the official government number, but if you looked at the cost of a Thanksgiving meal this year as opposed to last year, it was 20% more expensive to feed your family. That's real inflation, regardless of what the government says, right? So 20%, I think, is really the number. Staying ahead of the competition is another one. Who else? Who else has got a recommendation? What is it? Staffing. Number two, staffing, right? Shortages. How do you hire the right people? Anybody having trouble finding quality staff? Yeah, and then keeping them engaged and not fighting? Anybody have any drama mamas working for your practice? Always. You know, that doesn't have to be the case, but it often is, and we hear it all the time when we consult with different practices. And the Champions Institute is a different type of consulting practice, just so you know. We are a performance-based consulting firm. What that means is we don't get paid unless you experience profitability, okay? So we work differently. You don't pay us every monthly like other firms, so just so you know. But we hear staffing shortages and staffing conflict all the time. And that's why we're gonna talk about culture and communication. We heard some people earlier talking about communication, so important. And then finding new patients, right? Did we get you your book? You're set, okay. What's so fun, I put a little insert there. So on page 228, you can see Emily Letran's bio. And I just love, you know, when we featured her a year ago, I had no idea that we would be here partnering with her and supporting her. So I just love everything that she's up to. All right, well, let's get into the profit optimization formula. There's really 3 main components of this. Number 1 is not just scheduling, I call it scheduling success. It's what's going on in your practice, right? Because number 1, if you've got empty chairs, you've got lost profitability. You only make money when? When you've got patients in the chairs. So what do you do if they cancel? Or if you've got unscheduled treatments, right? Are you really going after the most profitable services that you deliver? Right? Now, we know new patients equal growth, and we always want to be focused on bringing new patients into the practice, don't we? 100%. But what about reactivation? What about recall? What are you doing to retain and then rebook the most profitable services into your practice? Do you know what that is? Do you know what how many people know what your average annual revenue per patient is? Show of hands. Anyone? 1. Emily Letran. 2. What is it? Do you mind sharing? 2,200. In what field do you mind? In neurology. Okay. Emily, do you know what your average revenue per patient is annually? Do you mind sharing? Okay. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what it is on average is $1,090 a year. Okay. So that's of the champion dentists, and really these are the people that are performing at the highest level, okay? The top 10%, which is where we help everybody get to, $1,090 per year. And so you should be looking for that $1,000 mark per year per patient. How do you get them to that level? What we do, we use, how many people know of Dental Intel, or how many people use Dental Intel? Anyone? No, oh my gosh, okay. All right, well, we need to chat. So Dental Intel is a tool that we use to actually analyze your practice management software to identify exactly how profitable every patient is to your practice, to evaluate what you're charging per service, to understand exactly where you're charging versus what the average is in your area, and then also what insurance will reimburse for. What we find is a lot of people don't understand what's out there in the industry, right? What your competition is charging. And if you don't know your numbers, then you're leaving money on the table. That's why we're going to optimize profit, because your calendar drives your profitability. You've got to get people back in those chairs, right? You have to know your numbers. We already talked about the value of each patient. What is your competition charging? Anybody have a clue of what that looks like in your practice? No. You do, okay. Med spa, okay, fantastic. And so you have to do that competitive analysis. You have to understand what's the market value for the service that you're providing. Because if it's worth $100 and you're charging $80, guess what? You're leaving money on the table. All right? So this is one of the things that we do. We do a diagnostic analysis to really do a deep dive. Again, we don't take everybody on as clients because we only get paid when you make profitability. So we have to make sure that we get the right folks. But one of the things that we do is analyze that as well as case acceptance. Anybody know their case acceptance rate overall? Okay, awesome. All right, well, we're here to help. That's fantastic. So overall, average 61% case acceptance rate. That you should be striving for more than that. I heard 50-50 earlier, but 61% is the number that we see on a national average. Okay? So you need to understand what your case acceptance rate is, and you may not be the best person to present that case. Okay? If you're a doctor, you're what's called high knowledge typically. We're going to get into personality science in just a moment. We heard about Colby Index earlier. I heard some DISC reference as well. And most people think about personality science, and I'm kind of jumping the gun, when it relates to the culture and the team dynamics. How about case acceptance? Do you treat each patient the same? Are you having the same conversation with every patient, regardless of their personality type? If you are, you're leaving money on the table. I'm just telling you. We'll get into that in just a second. All right, collecting more cash. Number one, insurance reimbursement. We work with a lot of practices that have no idea how much they can be charging. I was just on the phone with a business director from a company called Dedicated Sleep and Implants. If you don't know this company, you should look them up. How many of you do implants in your practice currently? Anyone? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Check out dedicatedSleep.net, I think is the URL. They'll be featured as a recommended resource in our next book, Raving Referrals for Dentists. They have medical insurance codes to get you reimbursed through medical insurance. And often they're getting $90,000 in reimbursements in some cases where the patient is paying less than $1,000 out of pocket. How'd you like to make $90,000 from one case and get paid by the insurance company? But not dental insurance, medical insurance. Okay, so go to Dedicated Sleep, check that out. I don't make any money from that. It's just something that we get into. So insurance reimbursement, you've got to know your numbers is the ultimate. And then identify your VIPs. Who are your most valuable patients for your practice? Do you know? Have you looked in your practice management software and actually seen if you rank them by profitability per patient? Those people might need a Christmas card or something. I'm just saying, maybe they need a bottle of wine. You know, they might need something special. Because when you show them the love, that's when the raving referrals happen. Does that make sense? All right, I know we've got a lot to cover and not a lot of time. Who's managing your money? I mentioned the CFO earlier today. You may not be the best person to manage your money. I'm just saying, right? Hell no. Like, that's just, you've got to have an expert that's helping you with these things. And somebody that knows your industry, that understands all of the deductions and how to optimize not just your gross revenue, but your net profitability and quite after tax take home. So these are some of the things that we talk about. Now, the services that you're offering, hygiene being the lowest, we're going to go from lowest to most profitable, right? Teeth whitening. How many of you are offering whitening? Yeah, show of hands. Okay, I see a couple of you. How about ortho? Anybody offer ortho in your practice? Yep. Look, I'm seeing the same hands go up. They're like, yeah, I'm locking it in, making that money. How about cosmetic dentistry? Yes, okay. And then implants. Did you notice the same hands that said implants were the same hands that went up to all of these? I'll bet you anything that their profitability is higher than yours in your practice, just saying, okay? So think about what you can be offering. Yesterday, I was at the Implant Education Center. I've got a video I'm going to show you in just a second, and amazing what they're doing. But if you're not practicing and providing implants right now, you've got to get in that game. You can instantly give yourself a 20% net take-home pay increase in your annual income just by offering implants. And we've got solutions that'll train you. I mean, literally by the end of a week, you'll know exactly what to do. Amazing center. Let's talk about culture. Culture is so important because if you don't have the right people in the right positions on your team, or maybe you got those drama mamas, right? I heard always earlier, they're always fighting. That's unacceptable. I'm sorry. They either need to go or they need to change what they're doing. And it's okay to invite them into their next opportunity if they're not right for your practice, okay? So we talked about vision and values earlier. I love the vision boards. I love talking about the fact that you need to be in partnership with your team. It's not only your vision, it's theirs as well. And then you've got to understand and clarify what those values are. I'm not standing in the right spot here. Okay. I loved Dr. Vo had the values of faith. Do you think that creates more loyalty within his team? You think that they understand that it's about family, right? That everybody's going to be awesome. What was the I? Anybody remember the I? I wrote it down. It's over there. All right. Well, I know the T was teamwork and that the H was happy, right? And so every one of his team understands that those are the values that we show up with every single day, right? You've got to define success. What does success look like for your team? If you want to have a championship culture and a championship team where your people are excited, right? As Vanessa was saying, where they're showing up with that posture and that confidence and that attitude of gratitude, that's what you want for your practice. Not only for your profitability, but just for the enjoyment so that everybody loves being a part of what you're doing and they're the best ambassador possible for your practice. So you've got to train them, and then also you got to reward them. Create that incentivization system where every single person is incentivized and rewarded. And guys, a lot of people will work for recognition, won't they? Even more than financial rewards. You got to just praise your people. And I know for some of you, this is foreign to you. Like telling them good job may not be the natural thing for you to say. You need to say it. And if it's not you, find somebody on your team that's going to be the mama bear. I was in a different perio office a few weeks ago, and the front office manager was amazing. Like the doctor was dull, and quite frankly, he had dirty shoes. I don't want to hire that guy, right? But the mama bear at the front office was amazing. I felt the love from the moment I walked through the door, right? And that's what you want for your practice. If you're a doctor, the reality is you're probably not the one to manage that. So not to be sexist, I was raised by lesbians, so I'm just, comfortable around women. So find a good woman or a man that maybe thinks they are. I don't know. I'm in Texas. I shouldn't say these things. But reward and recognize your team, all right? And then we talk about personality science a lot when it's time for your culture. Not only does this improve staff satisfaction, but it enhances your client interaction, your client communication, how you connect with people, based on how they are wired. Now, one of the systems that we teach is called bank code. And the reason I like this, as a CEO, I tried to install DISC for 18 months into one of my businesses. I couldn't get it to work. People just didn't get it. With bank code, right, you've got bank as an acronym, blueprint, right? The people that like the processes, the systems, the predictability, right? Then you've got your action. They're just like, get it done fast, right? Then you've got nurturers. You want to tell them you love them and help them feel the love. And then you've got your knowledge. Most of you doctors, dentists are high knowledge. And so you're naturally a little more introverted. Who do you need at your front desk? Someone who's high nurturing, right? Now, if you've got a patient that's high action, they just want you to net it out for them fast. Tell them that you're going to help them have an amazing smile. It's going to help them win in life. And then it's going to be painless, fast, easy, and cheap. Okay, sign me up, doc, ready to go, right? But if you come in there as a high knowledge and you explain all of the different pieces of the process and the procedure and all of the warnings and implications, you might just bore them to sleep, okay? So you have to understand who your patient is and why they buy. If you haven't read the book, Why They Buy, go read it, from Sherry Tree. I include a chapter in the Raving Referrals book because it's so powerful in understanding, again, not only the team dynamics, but case acceptance, all right? And then increase the reviews and referrals. When people feel the love, when you talk to them in the way that they want to be talked to, when you help them give the information that they need to make wise buying decisions, then they're more likely to give you those 5-star reviews and to refer all their friends. Does that make sense? All right. Okay, the last piece of this is raving referrals. How do you generate raving referrals? This is the book cover, super excited about it. We are looking for success stories. We finished the writing of the book at December 31st, okay? Then it's going through final editing in January and it comes out February 21st. So, some of you may, anybody know Julianne O'Connor? She does a lot of social media sharing. She does, anyway, okay, not a problem. She's been in this world for a long time. We're looking for success stories. If you've got a great referral story, come talk to me. I'd love to get your story for you. We might feature you in the book. If you're in the dental space, we're also finishing up our recommended resources. So like, I'm gonna talk to the guys at Mango and see if that's a fit. I'm gonna talk to TopDoc and see if that's a fit. So, if there's a conversation that we should be had, we'll have a resources section of who doctors should talk to and dentists should talk to, okay? So that's coming out here in a bit. There are a lot of people talked about referrals, so I'm not gonna go through it at length. I've got 11 minutes left, but you've gotta be automating your systems, okay? One of the things that we recommend is when you first meet with a patient, and maybe you've got a transaction, a treatment coordinator in your office. If you've got somebody that's responsible for going through the treatment plans with your patients, train them in that first appointment to say this, and you can write it down if you need to. One of the ways that we keep our costs down and help save you money, key point, we're going to save you money, right? Is that we predominantly work by referral so we don't have to spend money on marketing. So, after we've taken great care of you and you've had an amazing experience, I'd like to ask you at that point if it would be okay to ask you for referrals. What have you just done? Number one, you've told them, I'm going to help you save money. Number two, what? What else did I just say? Anybody catch it? I'm going to take care of you and you're going to have a great experience. Do we have books left? Okay. Well, okay. I heard one there and one there. There we go. We got 3 more. Okay. We're paying attention. We're paying attention. And then we call that setting the stage. There's 3 steps in the art of the ask when it comes to referrals. Number 1, set the stage. Number 2, listen for referral triggers. What do you think is an example of a referral trigger? When should you ask for a referral? When someone says something great, oh my gosh, I look amazing, right? You saw it in some of the videos. My smile looks fantastic. I feel so great. Thank you so much. It's basically he gets a book too, an expression of appreciation. Once you've set the stage, as soon as they say thank you in whatever form that looks like, then you say, I'm so glad you feel that way. I love helping patients like you have that experience, right? That wow moment. And so remember what I said? Well, I'd love to help your friends and family feel that way too. Is there anyone that we can offer this special gift to, right? Whatever you have as a lure for your practice. We're seeing patients, we've got this special, whatever that is as a coupon, you're going to be able to offer that. So thank you for playing. We'll get you a book. Contests. I'm sure a lot of contests, we outlined some of those in the book. I'm not going to go through it because I've only got a couple minutes left. And social shout-outs. Now, you've got to be careful here because of HIPAA, okay? You've got to get their permission. But if had that amazing experience, what should you do at that point? Any ideas? Have them sign a HIPAA release form. That's a great idea. I'd do one thing first before that, which is what? You want to capture that testimonial. What's the best form of capturing their testimonial? Video, right? What does that do for you? Do you know that Google is really optimizing their SEO based on video first and foremost? You need at least 3 great video testimonials on your Google My Business page. I'm going to show you in a second one of the things that we do on the digital marketing side to really analyze your practice, but you need video. So ask them for a video and then absolutely get that HIPAA release form, right? This is often underlooked. Referral partnerships. In my book, Raving Referrals, I talk a lot about referral partnerships, and you guys are typically missing the boat. Anybody using referral partnerships? A few. Okay, fantastic. Awesome. Who serves who you want to serve? At HOA.com, we focus on homeowners. We have 260 million homeowners in our database with email address, social. We've got their address, obviously, their telephone number, their industry, their net worth, their home value. I'm forgetting some stuff. We've got a lot of big data. Yeah, I see some people excited, right? And we can have an HOA conversation a different day. This is about Champion Dentists. We do integrate that for those that come on board, who we select as patients and partners in our program. But think about who is serving your ideal patient every day. Partner with them, right? Promote your patients. Guys, you have realtors. Think about who is a net promoter. There's something called a net promoter score. When you do a survey, if somebody scores a 9 or a 10 that they're likely to recommend you, go to those people right now because that means that they're a massive promoter for you. But think about the personality types that are out there that are influencers, right? Influence the influencers. Whether that's realtors, again, people that are outgoing, high nurturing, high action. Enroll them in being your ambassador. How do you do that? You give first. I'd love to feature you on our website, right? I'd love to share you in our newsletter because if you give us this testimonial, this gives us a way to promote you to our clients, and I know you're serving this community. Would that be okay? What do you think they'll say? 100% yes. I had one of my guys call 110 realtors on Monday, 100% yes. For those baseball fans, batting 1,000. When you add value and say, I'd like to promote you, they say, yes, please. How soon and how often? Okay, so promote your patients, influence influencers. We talked about that as well. We do a lot of community impact campaigns at HOA.com. This one kicks off on Tuesday. It's our Best Dressed Home contest, where people are going to put images, photos, and videos of homes that they think look the best, right? And then we're giving away cash and prizes and travel certificates. Find ways to integrate community into your practice. We do a We've Been Booed campaign. We create these for our pros, our realtors, insurance agents, mortgage lenders, painters, plumbers, all these doctors, dentists, right? We create these as turnkey campaigns because most people are too busy. So these are swipe files. You just copy and paste, right? Great egg hunt, Easter time, veteran salute because we're passionate about our veterans. We're a patriotic company and we care about those that have served us, right? All right. This is video that I took yesterday in Scottsdale. I was in the Implant Education Center. Anybody know Dr. Joe Maranfar? That name ring a bell? No? Okay, cool. Not a problem. He runs a charity called Dental Hearts, providing free implants for veterans, homeless, and low-income patients, right? And so I did get the HIPAA release forms. Everybody in there has signed a release form. They do implant education in this facility. It's world-class. You get to go in there for a few days. You can go to Dental Hearts. Dental Hearts is the component that they provide the service to low-income or veteran patients for free. Okay? And then they also have the Implant Education Center. So there was like 5 DSOs in there when I was there yesterday. And of course, Nobel Biocare, who's one of our partners, provides all of the implants for free. So they've got free implants, and then the doctors are doing the service for free because they have dentists that are flying in to understand how to integrate implants into their office. Full disclosure, my best friend in the world happens to be the director of training and education for Nobel Biocare. That's how I got in there. That's why I'm speaking at their national symposium for Invista, I guess it really is, on February 23rd. So the point here is integrate charity into your business. Find a way to make a difference. Number one, your staff will love it. It doesn't have to be giving away implants or dental service, but that sure makes sense, doesn't it? By the way, we help our veterans in our community. Do you think you might win some loyalty? I'm telling you, if you win the hearts, you'll win their minds. Okay? This is how you generate raving referrals. You make a difference to your community. Show your community you care. This gives you content. You don't have to create the social content. Like if that's not you, quite frankly, I create videos and then I give them to my team. I don't know what happens after that. That's not my gig, right? Find someone that loves that for your team. Make this a team project. Have them recommend what charities you should get involved in. I'm an ambassador for Big Brothers Big Sisters. My wife's the Big of the Year in Phoenix this year. So that's one of the charities that we're passionate about. Find yours. Make a difference. People want to know. They care when they know you care. And then lastly, I'll close with this. This is one of the things that we do in our diagnostic analysis, right? Is we run a snapshot report on your digital marketing report. You'll see this is one, sorry Jenny, if you're watching this, my apologies, but this is how you score. This is how Google sees your business. It rates you on 0 to 100, and then it rates you on A to F on 7 different areas, okay? So I've got a quick video, I'm gonna walk you through it, but basically we do the summary analysis of a practice. How many services they're listed on. In this case, they're not tweeting. Okay, right, not a problem. But you'll see incorrect addresses, right? There's over 70 different directories where your business should be featured. And quite frankly, this applies not just to the dentists in the room, but all you entrepreneurs as well. There's all kinds of different directories that you should be listed on. If you're not, you're missing out, right? You're missing out on clients that can find you. And guess what? This all cross-links with Google. Google wants to see where you're being found. And so if you're not being found, then Google, you're not ranking as high in Google either. We look at your reviews. We see how many reviews you have, how many reviews you got in the last 30 days, what your average score is, and what the leaders in your industry are doing. And this is really helpful to understand the data. I said we're a data-driven company. Social, how many likes you have for your business, right? All of the information that you need to know about your business that you, again, you're inside the frame. You probably have never looked at this before. So that's what we do as outside consultants. We come in and we analyze your practice. Normally we charge $7,700 for this. There's no cost for referrals from Emily Latren. Okay, so if you're interested in having us do an analysis, this is how we start our process of engagement. We don't take everybody on as a partner because we only get paid when you get paid. We only get paid when we help you grow your business. This is a performance-based consulting company. You've probably never heard that. I get it's kind of hard to wrap your mind around it. We're your partners in success. So we're selective about who we take, but when we take you on, it's because we know we can help you win. And when we help you win, we win. And that's the way that partnership should work. So Emily, I'm landing on it right on the spot. So thank you so much for having me today. If you're interested in having a conversation, talk to Emmy in the red dress, okay? I have to fly out in the morning. I've got 2 engagements tomorrow. Emmy's gonna be here all day tomorrow. So if you've got questions, if you wanna talk to me today. Otherwise, talk to Emmy tomorrow. Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure.